story you hear today is an actual case. We just changed the names for you. Remember, this is a public university. That's one of the reasons I said this is State U. The answer might be a little different if you're not a public university. Private universities, especially private religious universities, can sometimes have different rules when it comes to students. And there was a recent case in Boston where a Fisher College student was expelled over his Facebook post because they were lewd and they were threatened. So you do have to be careful what you say, but you do have the right to your opinion as a student, okay? Bastille O'Neill had an attitude problem. Bastille tried to explain to him that he's French, and it's expected for the French to have an attitude problem. The coach didn't really buy that, so he sat Bastille O'Neill down for the last 5 games of the season. O'Neill believes that that is the reason that they lost, that they didn't make it to the big dance. And he said that on his own blog and on his own Twitter and Facebook. He said, quote, "Coach Short is the reason we missed the big dance. He is a bad coach." O'Neill's in trouble. Because O'Neill is number 1, a basketball player, number 2, on scholarship, the rules are different for him. Now they take him off the team, they take away his scholarship, they can't expel him though. However, once his scholarship's gone, O'Neill doesn't have enough money to stay in school, so O'Neill is now out of school. Once he's out of school, the Department of Justice, or the Department of State takes away his visa, and then the Department of Homeland Security has him sent back to Paris, France, where now he works at the McDonald's in Paris, France, selling Royales with cheese. Now, little Kimberly is a high school senior. She's not a student at State U, but she reads her big brother's blog all the time, and she's been keeping up with it. So she puts on her Twitter and her Facebook, "I applied to State U because it's close to home and cheap, but I hate that school. Fire Shorts and free O'Neill." Now, Coach Shorts eventually finds this out. So he goes to the admissions department. He tells the admissions department, "Don't even let that girl in. I don't want her coming to my school." For any school that has selective admissions, and that includes a lot of public schools, any school that has selective admissions, prospective students are often declined admission because of online posts. In a recent poll, admission officers said that at least 15% of the applicants that they looked at were negatively impacted as a result of what they found online in their Facebook or Twitter accounts. Things that are put online that you think are private have a way of becoming not private. Let's talk about some famous Facebook fails. This is an actual Facebook post. This guy posted a picture of himself stealing gas out of a police car. I mean, that's a real Facebook post, and that's how the police caught him. Personally, I have to say I'm a little bit torn when I see things like this as far as from the standpoint of social media. Because I can't believe the stupidity, but honestly, a part of me is very happy that people are stupid enough to put their crimes online, because that's how they get caught. So if, kids don't commit crimes, but if you do, go ahead and put them on Facebook for us. Yes, don't put your phone number online if you can avoid it. Don't put your class schedule online. Don't put any personal information online that you wouldn't pin to the front door of your apartment, and allow everybody to see, because that's exactly what's going to happen. Chatty Cathy, she's a sophomore at State U. She loves to talk. She loves to chat with people. She loves to chat on Facebook. But you know what she hates? Spam. She gets emails from these 4 people. Aaron sent out a blast email with the Chatty Cathy and several other people, inviting them all to a St. Patrick's Day rave party. Okay? Bobby sent Cathy an offer to buy Amway products from her. Charlie sent Cathy 15 emails cursing at her for refusing his Facebook friend request. Dan emailed a naked picture of himself. That's not Dan. All right. So, do we like these guys? We dislike them? Cathy brings charges against all 4 of them. Get rid of them all. I want them all out. So what do we think? What about Aaron? Like, dislike? Like? What about Bobby?
No, Bobby.
All right. Charlie? Y'all are right. Bobby, Charlie, and Dan, all of them end up getting expelled. Bobby, inappropriate online communication. Now this is one that not a lot of people know about, and it's not a huge problem, but it's just something you should know about. It is inappropriate online communication if you use your .edu email account for any commercial purpose. You send somebody an email saying, hey, you know, buy my CD, buy this from me. That's illegal. You cannot use your edu account for that. You can be suspended from school for that. What about Charlie? Now he was, wow. Yeah.
What if you send it from an account that's not edu?
What if you send it from an account that's not the edu account? In other words, your personal account. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Now you're still going to be bound by things like the speech code and things of that nature. Okay, but you can't use the actual edu account for that. Charlie, remember, he sent her 15 emails cursing her out, saying, why didn't you respond to my friend request? Well, certainly it's inappropriate online communication. You can't use foul language in emails. You can't threaten people in an email. But it's also cyber stalking and cyber bullying. He was threatening her in emails, and he sent her repeated emails after none of the emails were responded to. That's cyber stalking. Not only is cyber stalking against school rules, it's against the law. You can go to jail for it, and the school is actually going to be required in 2014 to report that to the federal government. It's also illegal use of a campus computer to commit a criminal act, because stalking is a crime. All right, lastly, Dan, inappropriate online communication, obviously. Lewd behavior, and which is also a crime. You can be arrested for that. It's also sexual harassment, which is a do not pass go trip right out of school, and no other school can ever want to take you. Okay? And obviously illegal use of a campus computer to commit a criminal act. Aaron was just fine. Aaron really didn't do anything wrong. As long as this wasn't a commercial venture, he wasn't threatening anybody, he wasn't bullying anybody. He just invited her to a party. There's nothing really wrong with that. Oh, if I take a picture in a public place, like, say in the football stadium, and the school's logo is on the field, can I post that? Well, I imagine you're talking about like copyright violations,
Right.
Trademark violations. Certainly you can post that. Most schools, as a matter of fact, most schools do not. If you were to post that into a commercial venture, you might have more of an issue, and you certainly would have more of an issue with a private, like a company. Most schools, although they do trademark their logos and they trademark their rights, they don't enforce them against individuals. It's just sort of an unwritten rule that they don't. If you post something on Facebook, you post anything online, for purposes of, let's say, trademark or copyright, no, a copyright owner does not lose his copyright, or a trademark owner does not lose a trademark just because something was posted online. If something that's copyright or trademark is posted online, it still retains that trademark or that copyright. So it doesn't mean you can go use it and put it wherever you want. However, if you're asking, does it become public in the sense of can anybody see it? Yeah. That's why you shouldn't post things that are embarrassing or things that you wouldn't want to show your mother, because these things have a way of showing up other places, because there's not much to stop somebody else from reposting. Don't ever assume that something that you either text somebody or send somebody in a message or an email or post anywhere, sent to an SMS or sent to a post on somebody's wall or a private message, don't assume that that's going to remain private. Anything you send out into cyberspace, assume that it could come back to bite you. Years ago, for some reason, a lot of people got into their head that I can become a millionaire by sitting at home in my underwear and trying to sell things through email. And it became a real problem for a few years, but I think people have learned that that's not really a good way it's really not a good life strategy. You need to get dressed and get out and go work somewhere. If you want to run some commercial adventure, just don't run it on your .edu account. Honestly, I would say don't run a commercial venture while you're in school. You're in school to learn. You'll have the rest of your life to try to sell things. Yeah, and honestly, I don't think it's a good strategy to sell things anyway through email. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you all very much.